90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Star Julia Trubkina is no longer in the US, following the untimely death of her family member. Julia is from Russia but was working in South Korea when she was introduced to Brandon Gibbs. Julia came to America on 90DF Season 8 to marry Brandon and has since lived in Virginia. Julia often expressed displeasure with her living situation, commenting things like, "I go Russia" during arguments with Brandon. Immediately after her being announced as a 90-day fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 cast member, Julia, seems to have finally returned home. Brandon didn't agree with Julia's parents coming to America on the last resort, but this time, she went to them instead. "Meet my family." Julia surprised her Instagram followers with a post featuring her and her family members from Belgrade, Serbia. Julia wrote, "I think only I can bring people together who haven't communicated with each other for years," as a caption for the photos showing her posing with her parents and sibling. Julia appeared happy in the pictures after spending the last few weeks grieving the death of her dog Simba. However, Julia's followers couldn't help but notice that Brandon was not a part of these family photos. When High_Essence Staging asked, "Where is Brandon?" Julia didn't respond. Julia moved to America in 2020 and married Brandon that April. It was revealed that her parents were divorced and couldn't get along. They constantly argued and couldn't even be in the same room together. Despite this, Julia still hoped they could visit her in the US. She longed to see them, but faced resistance from Brandon, who strongly opposed the idea. He made a big deal out of their potential visit, causing tension between them. Undeterred, Julia went behind Brandon's back and applied for her parents' visas without telling him, determined to reunite with them. It seems Julia's parents planned to visit the US on a tourist visa, but Brandon opposed the idea. Fans speculated his reluctance stemmed from not wanting them to stay long-term or move in, potentially adding stress to his already strained marriage. Brandon may have suspected the visit was a trial run for permanent relocation, especially if Julia hoped her parents would help raise a future child. He also likely feared being financially responsible for them, further complicating his life. Their presence could have intensified existing tensions in the relationship. Julia gave up on the idea of becoming a mother after a doctor told her she'd never have a baby due to health complications, though Brandon urged her to seek a second opinion. Julia didn't seem interested and instead embraced being a pet parent. The sudden loss of her dog Simba to a stroke deeply affected her mental health. She may have flown to see her family to cope with the grief of losing her son. However, it's unclear why Brandon didn't join her or whether this new strain will feature in their 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After storyline.